Hello everyone and welcome back to English class. I hope you had a nice weekend and had some time to rest. Today we get right back into our compare and contrast essays. On Friday you thought about the essay that you want to write. You started it, and over the weekend you may have looked back at the feedback that I gave you on your Ben 2 essay. Okay, so today's goal is to use all we know about essay writing and all resources to revise our drafts. So in today's assignment, you'll see there are a lot of attachments. Okay, these are all the new things that we've learned about compare and contrast essays. Okay, but we need to combine that with everything we know already about essay writing. So if you look at the pictures here, you see there are two games, right? One from 2018, one from 2020. So let's say that I'm pretty good at 18. Okay, I know how to do everything in there and use everything and play well. But then 2020 comes out and there's some new features, new ways of doing things. So when I play this 2020, what new things do I have to learn? Okay, so do I have to learn how to move around the field? Do I have to learn how to kick, how to shoot, how to pass, how to do this and that? No, right? The only thing I have to learn are the things that are new to this new version of the game. So I want you to think of writing essays just like this. Okay, you know a lot about essay writing already. Okay, we've written a character essay, a theme essay. Last year you wrote essays. Grade 4 you wrote essays. You know a lot about essay writing. So with the compare and contrast essay, what we're doing is just adding a few new ways of doing things that are specific to the compare and contrast essay. Okay, so just like with this new game, the only new things you would learn are the things that are new to this game, which won't be very many. All right, so the goal today is that you look at all these resources and combine that with what you already know and use that to revise. What I've chosen to focus on today is an area that we all need to work on. Okay, and I noticed this in Ben 1 with your essays, and I still see it in Ben 2, and so we're going to cover it again today. And what I'm talking about is the complexity or the elaboration and evidence in your body paragraphs. So to do that, we're going to look at a student sample, and this student's name is Diamond. In her essay, she was her plan was to compare your move and thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I think most of you know thank you, ma'am, with Roger. So her thesis statement was that both stories show you have a choice whether or not to do bad things. Okay, so you have a choice whether or not to do bad things. So in her essay, her goal is to show how both stories convey the same message. So we're going to look at one of her paragraphs, and then I will analyze it for you, hoping that you do the same kind of analysis with your own paragraphs. So let me read it once for you. In both texts, there's a young man who faces the choice of whether or not to commit a crime. In your move, James decides whether or not to do graffiti to join a gang, and in Thank You, Ma'am, Roger has to decide if he's going to steal the lady's purse. They are the same, because in both the boys don't do the crime because of love. Like in your move, James loved his brother Isaac, so he doesn't join the gang, and in Thank You, Ma'am, Roger doesn't steal because the lady shows him love and care. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we see in this paragraph. So what jumps out at me right away is this here, what I'm highlighting. And you guys, you should know what that is. Okay, we know this is our topic sentence. All right, so the goal of this paragraph is to show that in both stories, there's a young man who has a choice whether or not to commit a crime. Okay, it's clear. I don't have to do much work to figure out what this paragraph's about. It's all there. Okay, so it's a clear topic sentence. Also, we've got a general idea. Here it says, in your move, James decides whether or not to do graffiti, and in Thank You, Ma'am, Roger decides whether or not he should steal the purse. Okay, so we have an example from In Your Graffiti, and then an example from Thank You, Ma'am. Okay, so this is good. So we have a topic sentence, then we have an example. So I'll put here example. Okay, so next, they are the same because in both the boys don't do the crime because of love. Like in Your Move, James loves his brother, so he doesn't do it. And in Thank You, Ma'am, the lady shows love to Roger. Okay, so there's an example, and there is an explanation. Okay, so topic sentence, example, explanation. Now, you might ask yourself, if I write a paragraph just like this, will I get a 4? Okay, will I get a 4 for elaboration? Well, the answer to that is no, because there are some ways that this student could make this paragraph even more convincing. And I'm sure right now you're thinking to yourself, where are the quotes? Right? Where are the quotes? Where's the hard evidence that's irrefutable? Okay, so that's what I would suggest that this student do. Okay, is that when they make these claims, when they talk about what's happening in the story, how about adding a quote to prove it and really bring that character's thoughts and ideas to life? So, for example, it says James loves his brother, and Roger doesn't steal because the lady shows him love. Okay, now one of the things I might be thinking as the writer is, should I put quotes to show that Isaac loves his brother? Or should I put quotes to show that he was thinking about doing graffiti to join the gang? So what we have here is we're trying to figure out which evidence is strongest or most compelling. All right, so think about this for a moment. Okay, now for me, if I were the writer here, I would choose the quotes, or I would choose to quote or to add a quote to the examples that connect directly to my topic sentence. So if my topic sentence is, there's a young man with a choice whether or not to commit a crime in both stories, then I'm going to choose quotes that prove that. Okay, so I would choose to look for quotes here, okay, to give the reader a clear picture of the choices that these characters were making. So I look for something. I look for some inner thinking where James is thinking about doing graffiti on the wall, or I look for a conversation where someone's telling him to do graffiti, and think about the way he's acting. With Thank You, Ma'am, I look at the beginning of the story where Roger is interacting with the lady, and I look for a quote that shows that there's a choice. Okay, because that's the point of my paragraph. Often in your work, I see a good topic sentence, and then I don't see any evidence that directly supports it. Or the other way around, I see evidence, I see clear evidence and details and quotes, but I'm not really sure what it's supporting because there's no topic sentence. So as you revise today, my suggestion is that everybody pay attention to this, because this is really what makes or breaks the success of your essay. Okay, so your work today is to, first, you're going to send a message in your pair chat, and you can finish this sentence here. Today I will work to revise blank. So you tell me what you're going to work on. Okay? And then at the end, after I'm going to call you back for a share, and right after that, there will be a Flipgrid assignment, and you're going to answer 3 questions. And they are, what did you do today? So you'll describe to me the work you did. Let me know how much you've got done, what's left. What's one thing that worries you about this assignment? So what are you worried about? What questions do you have? And then the last thing is, what needs to be done before your essay is complete? So I want you to get a head start on thinking about what work you're going to do tomorrow. So good luck with your work today. I'll be talking to you in small groups, and I look forward to see what you're working on. Bye-bye.